bloody fantastic.
Hello everybody, my name is Goodboy and welcome to a video on the crisis facing Dota+. Dota+ is losing lots of people who are unhappy or dissatisfied with it, and there are some serious challenges to face for Dota+ and Valve in order to make it, well, better for everybody. And I'm going to go through some of those here today. So Dota+, from its inception, to be honest, wasn't actually that well received, because the first thing people said is, there it is, it's pay to play. Pay to play Dota is finally here. And Dota+ isn't pay to play, but you can kind of see where people got from it. And since it's been released, and now even in 2019, the complaints about it are starting to surge pretty much through the roof. I don't think a day goes by where there isn't like a front page of Reddit complaint, something to do with Dota+. So here are a few of the big ones that stand out most notably about Dota+ that people are complaining about. The first one is actually rank roles. So rank roles was a popular thing that came out that's been done in the TI compendiums, and they thought, actually rank roles are so popular, why don't we just go ahead and add it to Dota+? That way we can encourage more people to use it, and we're kind of responding to the needs of the community. That was all well and good. A lot of people complained about the fact that it wasn't free. They should make just rank roles generally free. Valve aren't going to do that. I think Valve, in many ways, hate Dota because they can't make enough money out of it. And they want to make a lot more money out of it, and they don't feel like they're getting that benefit. I personally feel like they probably are making quite good money, but clearly it's not enough. And so any opportunity to try and squeeze more money out of the Dota community, they're going to go ahead and try and do it. Despite the fact that it has, well, quite negative consequences. But nonetheless, it's in Dota+, that's fine, we can all live with that one. But here's the big problem that's facing people that do have Dota+ with ranked roles. They can't find ranked matches. And when I say can't find, as in it takes half an hour, 40 minutes, an hour, for example, for people to find matches, especially if they make the mistake of going for mid. But even if you pick something like offlane and support, it can still take 5, 6, 7 minutes just to find a match, and that's playing low interest games. That's games where people aren't, these are roles that people don't generally try and select. Naturally, of course, if a lot more people than Dota are willing to play support, then that would work. But spending 25, 30 minutes searching for a game because you want to be safe lane or mid is fairly ridiculous and kind of undermines the whole purpose of ranked roles. So there is that kind of thing. That's very hard for Valve to deal with, unless, of course, they did make ranked roles free because, well, obviously there's not enough people doing it, and certainly not enough playing support. So that's something worth definitely taking into account. But the biggest complaint, probably by far, is actually to do with people receiving sets. So there have been several complaints about bugs to do with, my sets aren't working, blah, 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 blah. Why can't I get a set involved? And then even raising tickets against Valve and then having nobody respond or seem to care because people aren't getting their items. Now, of course, this is probably more a teething issue that Valve has to deal with, but the fact that people are constantly having issues with trying to redeem their Dota+ rewards and getting their sets, is a problem for people. Another sort of smaller issue kind of under that is that actually there haven't been any particularly new sets being added to Dota+ recently. So it's just kind of been always the same set. So in theory, if you earn enough shards, then your Dota, you could buy all the sets and then be like, cool, well, what else am I saving up my shards for then? That in theory that's quite hard because that means you're going to get a lot of shards. You've got to earn a lot of shards to get that. That's not easily done. But nonetheless, there does seem to be a lack of creativity coming to Dota+, which kind of brings us down to one of the big problems, which is people miss seasonal battle passes. And basically, we are seeing increasingly, in TI8, people will buy a battle pass and they will spend a huge amount of money on it. Hundreds of dollars, maybe even thousands of dollars in some cases, getting all the items, leveling up all the sets, all this cool new stuff. Everyone's like, yeah, I want it all, yeah, great. And then it was kind of like, and then you play games as well to help level it up, and it was really great. Offered a lot, it was very creative, offered a lot of things to people. And then they decided to scrap that in place of Dota Plus, but the problem is Dota Plus doesn't offer anywhere near that kind of thing. It doesn't offer any leveling progress, doesn't offer any special... It does offer sets, obviously, but doesn't offer any other special rewards, any seasonal terrains. It does offer some seasonal terrains, but new seasonal terrains are not available. And in effect, what a lot of people would like is actually, I would like to pay more money so that I can get... access to more of these things, and a lot of people are saying I'd rather actually get rid of Dota Plus and just have more seasonal battle passes and invest money in that way instead. So these are the kind of the problems. These are kind of a summary, I suppose, of the main problems that Valve is doing with Dota Plus. And I think the problem with Dota Plus, fundamentally, if you look at it, it's kind of like a halfway house between nothing at all, like generally free Dota content that people kind of want, to like a battle pass. But it's neither of those things. So it's not free, fundamentally. So that straight away is a negative for anybody who wants any free things. And so, for example, rank rolls comes up as a thing, because people are like, well, I want that for free. So that's your first problem, because obviously arguments are a big thing in Dota. We love fighting each other for no reason. But the other problem is that it's not quite a battle pass. It's like a failed battle pass, basically. It's a lot cheaper than a regular battle pass. And even a seasonal battle pass is cheaper than that too. And actually people don't like that either. Because they're like, well, I want more value from a book. Ultimately though, it doesn't appear that Dota Plus has changed at all since it's been created. A few bug changes, a few updates, but basically even sets and what's available on it are exactly the same. And people have had it for nearly a year now since it's been out. And the thing is, obviously, I appreciate Valve are busy and they're doing lots of things like patch updates, etc, etc. But actually, if you think about it, you really need to prioritize Dota Plus. Maybe even make it slightly more expensive. For one very simple reason. People want more out of it. And in particular, adding a lot more features, debatably, a heck of a lot more features to it. So you have a leveling system, so it's pretty much like a year-long battle pass, I think actually could drastically improve the game. Particularly, obviously, if there are little things that you can do to further invest, as it were, to buy levels, etc. So that people have the choice of how much they want to put into their Dota Plus. I think actually would probably do Valve a big favor. A, because obviously they would make a lot more money, but B, because it'd be a lot more satisfying for people in the Dota Plus community who, to be honest, it's not expensive, but at the same time it's like, come on, I want more bang for my buck, and I want Dota Plus to do a lot more for me. So that's pretty much Dota Plus summed up, really, in a short, concise way. Ultimately, Valve will need to invest a lot more time and effort into Dota Plus to make it more meaningful. And I think Valve needs to be more clear about what it wants Dota Plus to be, because it kind of is like a helpful tool manager that you didn't really want, but you've got anyway, and then some people do want it, but that wasn't really enough to justify buying it. And then also reward systems that are kind of limited, a bit like daily quests almost, but not. So, it's kind of like, it's not giving enough for the general Dota players to get enough out of it. And so, Valve will need to think very carefully about exactly what they get out of Dota Plus and what they're offering people. And they need to make some improvements, certainly some technical improvements, so people at least get their sets when problems arise. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please give the video a like, subscribe and share, and comment below, tell me what you think about Dota Plus and what improvements could be made. Anyway, thank you so much. Goodbye.